Well, hello there. Today I present to you the non-horror review for the month of June. This one was requested by someone who would prefer to remain anonymous, so I will respect their wishes.
Tiger!
I am looking for more suggestions to add to the poll though, so please go ahead and put them in the comments, and let's figure out what I'll be covering in July.
Yes.
Now on with the show. Greetings friends, and welcome back to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and sometimes I just don't watch horror movies. I just don't. Weird, right? What's the deal with that? But I do watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Infernal Affairs from 2002. A dirty cop secretly working for a mafia drug organization and an undercover cop within that same mafia clash as the police try to take down the criminal organization.
Wow.
Now, if that sounds familiar, this movie was the inspiration for Martin Scorsese's The Departed. This movie was co-directed by Hong Kong filmmakers Andrew Lau and Alan Mak, and it was written by Alan Mak and Felix Chong. Alan Mak has also written and directed 2 sequels to this movie. Infernal Affairs is available to stream here in Canada on the Criterion channel, and that's the first time we've seen that service in one of my reviews. A drug boss named Sam has a brilliant plan. Take a group of fresh-faced youngsters with clean records in his triad gang and have them join the police academy. Anyone who makes it will work for Sam and be able to provide intel on police activity related to his operation. A young gangster named Lau makes it onto the force and is quickly promoted through the ranks. At the same time, a young man named Yan joins the academy and is quickly recognized for his astute attention to detail. Yan is seemingly thrown out of the academy for insubordination, but in reality, he's recruited into undercover operations with only one senior officer knowing who he is. He makes his way up through the ranks in the Triad Mafia. As I mentioned previously, this movie was the inspiration behind Scorsese's The Departed. Martin Scorsese claims that he didn't even know that this movie was a remake until he had already agreed to make it. In his version, Leonardo DiCaprio plays the part of Yan, the undercover cop who's been placed in the mafia. And Matt Damon plays the part of Lau, the corrupt cop and mole for the mafia on the force. Infernal Affairs was not nominated for the Best Foreign Language Film Academy Award despite the fact that it was initially selected. However, The Departed won the Best Picture Academy Award at the 79th annual ceremony, and the Academy mistakenly called it a Japanese production.
Yikes!
There seems to be an eternal debate online as to which one of these 2 movies is better. Personally, I think I prefer this version, Infernal Affairs. For one, it's not 2.5 hours long. And 2, I love Hong Kong action thrillers. Now it's 10 years later, and Yan is the number 2 guy of Sam the drug boss. Yao is a high-ranking detective, but on Sam's gang case. There's a deal going down between Sam and some gangsters from Thailand, and Yao feeds information to Sam secretly. First the channel the police were communicating on, then their moves. It becomes quickly apparent to Lau, though, that someone on Sam's side is feeding info back to Superintendent Wong, or at least someone on the police's side. Lau is very clever and realizes that the finger tapping he's seeing Wong doing is a code. Someone is communicating with him via Morse code. It's Yan. The deal is a bust, but the cops don't have any actionable evidence on Sam. The mafia mole in the police force in Infernal Affairs is played by an actor and singer named Andy Lau. Surprisingly enough, Lau has never broken into the Western film industry. He appears in the movie The Great Wall with Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, but that's about it. And that's pretty crazy when you think about it, considering the fact that he's acted in nearly 200 movies since the mid-80s, and he's an incredibly accomplished singer as well. He's been crowned in what is known in China as one of the 4 heavenly kings of cantopop. He's also received a Guinness World Record for most awards won by a male cantopop artist. That's an oddly specific record, but at the time when he won it in 2000, he had already won 292 different awards. That's very impressive. Sam is super pissed that the deal went south, and he tasks Lau with figuring out who the mole in his operation is. Sam provides dossiers on each one of his people, and one person has a confidential police record. No one can figure out the password to get into it, though. Meanwhile, Lau has been promoted to Internal Affairs, and he puts a tail on Superintendent Wong. Wong and Yan are meeting at the top of a building when they realize they've been set up. Yan gets a call from another member of the Triad saying that they've tracked the mole down to the building that he's currently in. Things absolutely hit the fan after this, and if I reveal any more, I'll be heading down into spoiler country, and that's not cool. Believe me, I was as surprised as anyone when I realized that The Departed was a remake of a movie from Hong Kong, and I'm very glad that someone suggested I watch it.
You right.
The acting was top tier from beginning to end, and it was very interesting to see Anthony Wong, the guy who plays Police Superintendent Wong in this movie, play a character that isn't an absolute degenerate.
What?
And believe me, if you've seen the exploitation movies The Untold Story and Ebola Syndrome, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Damn, son.
They absolutely nailed the tension in the scenes where the two moles within the different organizations were busy working to undo each other's work. And the scene where the two finally meet on the rooftop? Classic. This was a really fantastic movie. I rate Infernal Affairs a 9 out of 10.
Whoa!
As always, link to my Letterboxd appears in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe as it really does boost my engagement and helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds!